Hi, dear viewer. Thank you so much for joining us once again for another edition of a conversation we are about to have about Arise and Shine Lifestyle Center. Arise and Shine Lifestyle Center is a South African-based natural health remedies and wellness sanitarium which seeks to promote healing holistically and transform people's lives using natural health remedies. It does so by ensuring that it not only heals you, but where possible, completely eradicate and prevent diseases. It is important for us not only to understand the nature of the work that this institution does, but to also fully understand for yourself why you need to find this as valuable information. Joining me for this is the founder of Arise and Shine Lifestyle Center, Dr. Vusi Mema, and it is an honor once again to have this opportunity to speak with you about such important health matters. Welcome.
Thank you, Mary.
I want to start with something interesting. Arise and Shine Lifestyle Center. It's not a very common kind of term for an organization. Where does that one come from?
Basically, it was inspired by a statement from the book of Isaiah chapter 60. 60, I think it's verse 1 and 2, where the Bible says, "Arise and shine, for the Lord has come." And it's something like that.
Yeah.
I must say that it's a name that was identified by my wife, and we thought that really we need a center where people are gonna come gloomy and beaten by sickness, but after they have visited the center, then they will arise and they will shine.
Rejuvenated.
So they'll be rejuvenated.
Oh
yes.
yeah, okay, no, that's beautiful, and I like how you took a Bible verse and you transformed that into something very practical, which is your lifestyle and how you go about, managing your daily choices about your health. How did the idea, however, come about to start a wellness center as African people, especially in an African country?
It was never my idea in the first place. I wouldn't take credit for that. It's my wife who came up with this idea. She had already attended some few trainings. Then she came back and she was fired to begin a lifestyle center. I was still laid back, not sure whether to buy into this or what should be happening, but with time I felt that this is very important. We should actually heed the call. Then we started discussing it as a family, my wife and I, to see where do we start about this. And me being the person I am in terms of action, so I said, now it's time, we are ready to begin it. And when we began, then I remember I also started to go for a training. When I went for the training, it was a 3 months training on medical missionary. Then when I came back, I said, we are ready to start. And she was still doubtful and
you swapped roles.
Not sure. Now we started swapping roles. Yeah.
And you having been the skeptic, you became the one now in the forefront.
Exactly.
Activating the program. It's amazing though, and I think, okay, so not just my experience, and I think a lot of people who are perhaps of African origin might have these sentiments that a lot of times where you see natural health things, it's often connected to spiritualism,
yes.
And outside of that, it's not the norm. I'm sure people look at you and like, you don't eat meat. It's always a shock. Like a black man does not eat minjani. So how do you go about consolidating the fact that you are not into spiritualism, and yet you take lifestyle health very seriously, even though you are black, you are African, and it's okay.
It is always a challenge. Every time we attend events and all that, people are always amazed. So you don't eat meat, and it's like, really? Where do you come from?
Yeah.
Which planet are you coming from? And especially with me coming from the Eastern Cape, people from Eastern Cape, Xhosas and meat and all that. They were like, no, you are not from there. What's happening with you? So it is always a thing that happens. But the thing about taking the calling on medical missionary is that medical missionary is unlike just education. It starts with you first. So you have to live by example in whatever you do. I cannot say to you, maybe stop this and then may I continue in it. So one of the things that inspired us to change our lifestyles, even in terms of diet, is because we knew that the message that we are carrying, it's a message that must go to people and they must see us and live the message. It's unlike going to a doctor's room and the doctor tells you that you have lung cancer, and the reason for your lung cancer it's because of smoking, and then the doctor takes a break to go and smoke. So it is very different from that. So you need to live what you are preaching. You need to do what you are telling other people to do. So that's what inspired us, that irrespective of how people look at us and see us, but they need to see the health message in our own lives.
So it's a practical kind of faith. That's how you would kind of like, explain it. Speaking of, the work in reality that you do, how different is it to what is done in a hospital, in a clinic? What are the similarities perhaps? And what are the core differences so that people are able to understand why I would come to you instead of going to my local clinic?
Yes, remember one of the things is that as a doctor, I'm a doctor who is trained in original medicine. So when we talk about originality of the medicine, we're talking about God being the originator of the healing methods. So the first thing that you need to look at is to make sure that whatever you are doing, God becomes the first, is your reference in everything that you do. So the originality is God, basically. So how it differs from the hospital, the minute you get to the hospital, the doctors take care of you, and sometimes there is not even a thought of praying. They won't even think about praying. So the other thing is that sometimes there is no thought of using nature to assist your recovery. But when you look, when you do the kind of ministry that we are doing, we need to understand that God has given us nature to be one of our healing methods. So I cannot say to you, sleep in your room day and night. You are not moving. We must make sure that you are also exposed to the sun. You get fresh air. You get clean water. So nature becomes partner. It partners with us in the process of assisting you. So we don't only depend on the use of herbal remedies and the use of that, but we also depend on nature. For example, one of the things that we always point that when you run a lifestyle center, you need a more country environment, because just the environment can bring healing upon you. So that's how different we are when it comes to the normal kind of hospital approach. So we partner together with nature, and we assist people using the very same nature. And we also use herbs. Diet becomes part of what we are doing. So we cannot give you sugar when you are diabetic, for example. Yet in some environments, hospital environments, you might be given white porridge, you might be given with sugar and all that, yet you are diabetic. So that's the difference, that we look at you holistically. That's the whole.
It's quite a transformation to a person's life, and I don't know if there's a lot of pressure for people who come to you for healing. Do they then have for you to feel like, I don't want to get sick again, I don't want to find myself in this situation, therefore it's not only my lifestyle that I must change in terms of my diet, but I can't live where I live anymore, I need to now move to the countryside. Is it that intense?
Say that again.
Is it so intense that for a person to not feel that I'm going to get sick again because I came to this situation, which is an environment very different to maybe the city where I generally live, so I have to move out of that in order for me to maintain that kind of stability. Does it become really that hectic for patients who come to your center?
One of the things that we do actually is to, because we run other services like your cooking services, because even if even if the situation does not afford you an opportunity to live out of the city.
Yeah.
So we are always saying use what you have to the best of your ability. So you may be in the city, but you may still it does not mean you can't eat healthy. It does not mean you can't take walks in the early morning in the fresh air. It does not mean you can't bask in the sun. So you look at the environment that you are in. So people will be trained also to use the environment that they are in to the best of their knowledge, to the best level of their knowledge. So it does not, you don't have to say I have to leave, but if situations or circumstances make you to be in that environment, look at what this environment can offer you to live the best of your ability.
Oh, okay, that sounds exciting, because then it means that you kind of learn how to schedule your time per day to ensure that you benefit from all the different health laws that are there and available. What other services do you provide at Rise and Shine besides the healing of someone being sick in terms of the physical body?
Yeah, in fact, what we do, because even when we talk about the healing itself or the assistance of someone to recover from sickness and disease, some people, they will just come for detox. To just say,
I'm sure you're going to have a lot of clients in January.
So they will just come and say, I just want to clean my body, I just want to clean my liver, I want to clean my kidneys, I want to just make sure that I'm in good state of health.
So people who detox now, is it, I'm never going to go back to those things again? So if I'm going to say I'm going to detox from alcohol, I'm never going to touch alcohol. So is it, I want to be clean so that I can start from scratch again and enjoy myself? How does it work?
There are people that will come and say, I've been abusing my body. I've eaten a lot of junk, I've done this, I've been partying and all those things. So I want to clean myself. But our priority is to always advise people that, you know what, a change of lifestyle, to make it your lifestyle, the change must be your lifestyle. Not a once-off, not something to run to try to recover, not something to say I'm going to do this so that I can achieve, I can remove whatever I have eaten and all that. So we advise people that change your lifestyle. But there are people that will just come and say, I just want to detox. It's not like I want to stop
About that point, I just thought of something. Is it a bad thing then to want to detox momentarily for a time and then maybe you go back? And of course I understand the fact that it's good to implement these good health habits forever. But when people are not yet ready, is there anything bad about you stopping and starting and stopping and starting?
No, not at all. Not at all. Actually, it's something that we should all be doing. Even us at the center, there are times that we detox ourselves.
What do you detox from?
Just, you know what?
But you healthy.
No, you know what? You cannot. You can never guarantee, because we are exposed to so many things. We are so exposed. Actually, a few weeks back, I was doing my self-liver flash. So we are exposed to even the food that we are eating. Remember, it's not as pure as it used to be. The environments that we are living in, we are surrounded by fumes. We are surrounded by chemicals and foods. We are
you guys detox?
Yes, we do. I just completed mine few weeks back, and I really enjoyed it.
How do you feel afterwards?
No, you do feel great, You do feel good, because there are many things that are happening around you. I promise you, there's many things. You do feel when you are sluggish. You feel like I'm quite slow now, I'm tired, and sometimes I've been doing a lot of work. There's been so many clients, and I had sleepless nights, and even eating, sometimes I've not been eating properly because all those things. So they're happening. So you will need time to lay back and then start focusing on yourself and cleanse yourself. Allow your body to recover and all that, and clean your liver as well. Because there's so many things we're exposed to. Many things we're exposed to.
Why do you focus so much on the liver?
The reason is because the liver is the most important organ. It's the one that deals with all the toxins in the body. That's why I keep mentioning the liver. So it's one of the organs that needs to be functioning in order to cleanse the body of every toxic material. So if the liver is affected, every other organ cannot be happy. So clean the liver and other organs will be happy.